happening, my brother? Tim brought it to my attention that you've held a few protests here in the area in light of what's going on out here in the world, not just this community. But I mean, when I say world, I mean Germany's protested against racism and things like that. So what led you into, how did you get into leading a protest really in your hometown of the Feniac? Like what led up to that event?
Well, I mean, I guess the shortest story is, man, we had the death of Ahmaud. And when the death of Ahmaud happened, I was like, man, it hit me so heavy, like unnaturally heavy. I made a little post on Facebook, and then the response I got back from the post, crazy enough, the response that really moved me was from my white brothers and sisters saying, hey, we just don't know. Like, we want to do something, but we don't understand. We don't know what to do. And then, we had Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. And as all this going on, I'm like, my brothers and sisters that look like me gotta feel heavy. Yeah, and the Funiac, if you've been there, it's such a tense town. Like the muscle of racism and racial anything hasn't really been exercised there. It's just kind of like just do what you do to live.
Swept under the rug,
and it's really tight. So I'm like, we need to do something not only for my black brothers and sisters, but for my white brothers and sisters who stand with us. We need to acknowledge as a city, not just as a black community, but as a city, we need to acknowledge that this is going on, that is not right, that there are people who stand together who don't even look like you, who are going to love you. And so that was kind of my idea. I'm like, we need to do something. We need to acknowledge it. So I went to Facebook. I'm like, who would be interested in doing a protest in Funiac? And I got enough response back to start it. And so I put it out there. And as soon as I put it out there, we got a whole lot more people than I expected.
There were a lot of people there that day, man.
That's
it was
a good
crazy.
thing.
I went. I didn't expect to see anywhere near as many people as I did. I was like small town, the Funiac, like it's already kind of like you said, it's kind of got that vibe already of like people that aren't that are from around here, but that aren't from the Funiac, almost have that like the Funiac's already kind of an old racist town anyway. Yeah. So like, why would you be going to the Funiac to hold a march? Like you're going there.
Didn't the Funiac used to be the capital of Florida?
Yeah, it was it's the county seat of Walton County, and I think it actually might have been
the capital of.
It's the county seat of of Walton County for sure, but it might have been the capital of Florida. I don't know.
But anyway,
but either way, But I was like impressed by the number of people that were there, like of all nationalities and all backgrounds, and like people I didn't expect to see there were there, and you know what I mean. It was really cool.
And I think it's a good sign to show that, you know, like you said, people are trying to stand in unity or want to stand in unity to say that, you know, enough is enough of the narrative that we dislike each other.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I've been in the Feniac. There's a lot of missed babies in the Feniac. So hey, it's a lot of unity.
You're not lying, bro.
You know, so I lived down there for about 3-4 years. So it's that if anything says unity, it's babies.
You're not lying.
So you know, that's a fact. So that's a good thing to see. You know, and people, I think history has shown that. There is a unifying force of all races, of all people and nationalities, because we are a human race. And regardless of what the narrative is on the news stations and this and that, I believe for the most part, personally, that people do want to live in harmony.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants to be out here at each other's throat. Like, where's the fun in that? So, no, that's a good deal. That's what's happening, which we touched on a little bit before we got started. So off of that event, we also saw that you did another event down in Grayton, which is a little bit different from the Feniac. So, trust me, I worked out there, so I know what it is. I used to I partied over there a lot at Pandora's before it was AJ's, so I understand what the dynamic of the area is. So tell us a little bit about how that came about.
Yeah, there was a guy's name, he's a lawyer down there, Dan Uffelder, his last name.
Yeah, it's Uffelder or something.
Yeah. That's not the Grim Reaper guy.
It's the Grim Reaper guy, which I did not know at the time. I didn't figure that out afterwards, because everybody knew who he was. I'm like, how do I know who this guy is? What am I missing? But nah, he came to the first one, and then he just reached out to me. He's like, man, we need to bring this to the other side. So I don't like to just do stuff just to do it. Like, everybody come out for a march. This is so fun. No, I was like, all right, let me know why you want me to come here. He was just explaining how it's like the bubble down there. Like, they live in their own world. Everything's great. Everything's perfect. So I was like, all right, that's a good reason, and I definitely want to spread the message as best as I can. So I was like, let's do it, let's set it up, and I had some people from down there help me put it together. And to be honest, it was so easy, it was so smooth compared to putting on the Defuniac. It was so down to the police officers down there. They took me out to lunch. It was just smooth down there. Over here, it was
really?
That was actually something I noticed.
Also, in Gray, they took you to.
They took me to lunch. We talked about it and all that stuff. And we ended up, because every time I do one, I always speak to the police because we don't know what happened. So they took me out. It was cordial conversation. We laughed. We talked about different things, but it was just a totally different vibe doing it in the bubble compared to doing it in those small town country Defuniac. Yeah. So it was, which
makes sense. I mean, which we touched on, like those little small pockets of America that don't have the light shined on them as often. You know, kind of do things a different way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it kind of makes sense that, you know, you would have that different experience.